So one of the things I really love to do is reflections on water. Sometimes the reflections have so many different colors in them because they're reflecting all of the different things that are above it, and they sometimes mix with the colors below, for instance, if there's rocks in the shallow water. So you really get to see a lot of different colors, and they're sort of all mixing together and making a mishmash of beautiful tones in the water, because you also have the sky and you have sometimes a little bit of white water on top, and it makes a beautiful painting. So this is just a very simple painting of a tree hanging over the water edge with a little bit of a bank, and I hope you enjoy it. Let's get to it and see what we can do. This is a very simple painting, but I love the greens and the blues, the light shining through the tree on the shoreline here, the wonderful tones in the water here, burnt sienna or yellow ochre that's coming through from the sand through the bottom of the water. It's a very simple but very pretty painting that I would like to do of it, and we'll see how it turns out. We have to start out by sort of sketching in the basic idea of where we want everything in this painting. So I'm starting by just putting several colors down in the places where I see them on the canvas and just getting in a basic background. So here I'm using lemon yellow and cerulean blue, a little ultramarine blue, and I actually used a little bit of black with that yellow to make a deep green. I also have some Mars yellow to help me with the colors on the bank under the water. Sometimes watching is better than hearing someone talk about it. So I continue to add texture, trying to maintain my dark areas and my light areas, but putting enough of an impression there so that you can see there are leaves in there. What I'm doing here is lightening this back here so that it recedes a little bit, but is very important because there's just so much here that you have to kind of group colors together. And I want these beautiful tips of the leaves over here to stand out with the bright yellow as the sun hits them right there. And yes, there are more coming down from here, some more over here, and then even these other plants over here do the same thing, but that's the brightest, and this right here. So we're hitting those with the most yellow, the most sunshine, letting some of this be a little more muted, and then we'll go into our medium color spread throughout here. It's not as bright. Don't usually use a small brush, but I am because I want to simulate these little leaves. Okay, and then there's a little bit of color in this bank. Again, see how I go down, then out. Then there's something darker in the water here. We don't have to know what everything is, but it helps you to differentiate the bank. There's things under the water. The water has a texture to it. Some of it's light, some of it's dark. This also helps it to be believable that yes, in fact, we are looking at reflections because there's water lines across it. Makes us know there's a current here. And then there are a couple of, no, I'm not going to do it with this brush. Let me clean that brush off and see if I can get, don't know if this brush is small enough. Let's see. We shall see. There's a couple of little guys here that are just coming straight out of the water. So we're just going to add a little texture that way here and there. So even though I have these back here a little lighter, I need the edge of the yellow to kind of be darker, where it begins to change, so that you see a difference between the front bushes and the back bushes. Maybe lighten these up a tiny little bit more. The only other thing I want to do is use a little bit of this phthalo blue here and there. It's a phenomenal color. And it's just going to make the whole thing sing. There's a squiggle here and there. See what a difference? One of the things that you have to remember in a painting like this is that there has to be, if you squint your eyes, primarily a dark spot or dark spaces that hopefully interconnect, and light spaces. If I were to put light everywhere, it would just look like polka dots. You wouldn't be able to tell the background from the foreground, the deepness underneath and through from the leaves that are sitting on top and forward. So that's the way that you separate them. Even if you see light ones everywhere, the lightest lights are over here and here. Then the medium color is here, and the darker colors are here, and that's it. And then back here, even though these are really pretty much the same color in real life, they have a little more blue, and they're sort of interconnected with the sky back there, so you can't exactly tell where they start and where the sky starts. So that gives you the illusion of a little bit of depth back there. Just a pretty little painting all about reflections. Little chunkier, which you can do with acrylic. You don't have to just do smooth with acrylic. But then when you get down to the water, it's smoother so that it shows that it is a flat surface. I hope you all enjoyed this one. A simple painting of reflections. I enjoyed doing it with you. Come along next time for another painting adventure, and remember, you can paint too.